A symposium on the Bradford House was held at the Duxbury Senior Center with the theme of reimagining the Bradford House. The speakers all spoke on different aspects of the Bradford history, and PCN stopped in to get you this story.
Her children while this was going on in her city.
Today we had our inaugural symposium on the Bradford House. This year's theme was reimagining the Bradford House, and all the speakers today, there were 6 of them, we all spoke on different aspects of the Bradford history. We had Frank Shirley talk about the conservation of the house. I spoke about the Bradford sisters' spinsterhood. We also heard about some of the Bradford sisters' relatives. And all in all, it was a very interesting day where people could learn more about our historic house museum. So I have been studying the Bradfords and the Bradford House for the last 10 years. I've spent numerous hours going through their hundreds of letters and journals, pretty much have transcribed at this point everything that they have written personally. And so this whole reimagine process is a culmination of multi-year work by many different people. And this summer we will reopen the Bradford House with its new exhibits, all focusing on the 19th century women's history. The Bradford House was built in 1808 by Captain Gershom Bradford and his wife Sally Hickling Bradford. It was owned by the Bradford family for 4 generations until 1968, when it was donated to the Duxbury Rural and Historical Society, and at that time it became a house museum. Up until a few years ago, it has always focused on the captain's life and not so much on the women who lived in the house. However, they lived very vibrant lives and were involved in things like temperance and abolition. They were social reformers and just were very interesting women. So now we have turned the house slightly away from Captain Gershom Bradford's legacy and focusing it more on the lives of the daughters that lived in the house. This summer, the house will reopen, reimagine for the first time. It will open in July and run until October. So we hope that everybody who has an interest in women's history in the 19th century will come and view the Bradford House.
So I've been researching the women associated with the Bradford House, and what's important to me is that, as I mentioned during my talk, I'm interested in women's history. I study women's history, and so I think it's great that Erin is taking the initiative to reinterpret the Bradford House to incorporate the very important stories of the women that are often overlooked in many historic houses. So I'm happy to be a part of that. I think that there's such a wonderful amount of resources here. There's the house, the collections, and the archives. There are just hundreds and hundreds of manuscripts, and so new stories keep coming to light. It's an ongoing, evolving story, and I think that's what's going to make the Bradford House interesting and exciting and relevant in the future.
Of the presentations, what